Hey students, don't go away. This is not a bell for the end of a lesson. It is the start of a lesson. Well, you may wonder, you're here to go through the reflection of my learning outcome of marketing. How come you become a student? I remember when I was a secondary school student, my teacher taught me a way to revise effectively. Is to act like a teacher and try to teach what I've learned. Usually my students are my adorable dolls and my beloved dog. But today, I have all of you. So please sit down and pay attention, or else I may need you to stay behind after school. Let's start our lesson. First, we go through the marketing course we've gone through. Marketing 2010, the very first marketing course that I attended. This is the first course that I found myself interested in marketing. It gave us the concept of the frameworks to develop and evaluate marketing strategies, such as 3Cs and STP. Also, we got some analytical tools such as customer lifetime value and economic values to the customers. Another big part would be 4Ps. Then Marketing 3010. Oh, that was a tough course, isn't it? It is about marketing research. We learned to choose the right method to research and design a proper questionnaire. Most importantly, the R system. What a practical course! For Marketing 3020, we dig deep into consumer behavior and we look at what create values to the customers and what influence their choice. We try to change their preferences by developing tactics like nudging and social norming. We've learned so many theories, but what brings them together? How to use them practically? There we go, strategic marketing. I would like to introduce MADketing to you. You want to start by now. A strategic marketing plan is actually a fishbone diagram. It can be roughly divided into 3 parts: strategy formulation, implementation, and evaluation. Let's start by enjoying the fish head. I know that's a lot, but it makes sense, right? Fish head is always the hardest part to enjoy and digest. Are you ready? Let's go! The very first thing in strategy formulation is vision and mission, the core value of your business. You need to know what is your business and what you want to become. Otherwise, the strategy will lose direction. The characteristics of an effective mission and vision is to include the criteria for the strategies, dynamic, and include as many managers as possible. We need them to provide insight from different perspectives. Second, external assessment. Before we explain this factor, one thing to mention is that external environment varies over time and industry. Therefore, we need to do adjustment and update it on a regular basis. Back to our main topic. We examine the opportunities and threats through PEST. P. Political. We look at the political environment of a country and see if it affects our decision, such as the tax rate and patent law. E. Economic. A large part that evaluate the purchasing power and economic power of a market. We look at the disposable income, consumption pattern, etc. S. Social. We look at every social elements that affect our business. Like a baby milk powder company would care about the number of births, and all companies should understand ethical concerns to avoid risks. T. Technology, which is a great trend nowadays. E-commerce and customer profiles are great tools. And don't miss out the competitive rival firms when you do external assessment. It is very important to keep up with your competitors and create your own point of difference. To make it more referable, we use EFE to summarize and evaluate the performance of how our company is doing regarding the external factors. We give weighting and rating to each factor and calculate our performance. After the external part, guess what's next? Yes, internal assessment. They're like peas and carrots. In this part, we analyze strengths and weaknesses of our company. First, internal management. Planning, organizing, motivation, etc. We evaluate how a company operates its business. Then marketing. Basically everything we've learned in our marketing courses, like customer analysis, consumer information and profiles, promotion product and services. Don't forget about the Promotion 7 Magic, PPCCBRS. Then, we evaluate the pricing strategies. We see if the company doing a proper discount, markup, and handling the cost. The rest of them are distribution, marketing research, finance, and production. They evaluate the company finance situation, production process, and see if it's effectively gather information from the customers. Same as EFE, we have IFE here. Like EFE, we use the score to evaluate our performance on vital internal factors. After evaluating all the factors, we will do a matching for the factors in SWOT and see what strategies can we come up with. We can base our market growth matrix to identify the possible generic strategies. If we aim at an existing market and existing product, we will use market penetration. We use different strategies to increase exposure and usage of our product, like increase frequencies of use. An example would be the hand sanitizer. You promote how it can kill germs like COVID-19 so that the consumers will use it more. After that, if you want a new product in an existing market, it will be product development, like Apple. It utilizes product improvement and launch different series of iPhone. Then, if you consider a new market with existing product, it will be market development, which is a complicated process which requires a lot of research. Finally, if you consider a new product with new market, it will be diversification, the most risky one. Without experience and market information, it requires a lot of resources. I hope you understand these strategies and you will be able to identify 2 strategies after matching SWOTs. Then you conduct QSPM to choose the ultimate strategy to work on and decide your positioning via tools like perceptual maps and customer value maps. Whew, that's how you come up with your strategy. What a tough fish head. Then we can move on to the strategy implementation. We need to decide the 7 P's based on our strategy. Then we can launch our project. I hate to disappoint you, but I need to tell you the fact that 90% of formulated strategies failed. So how to be the 10%? There are some potential issues that we need to pay attention to. The first aspect is marketing. We may need to consider the best promotion channels, e-commerce, or do we stick with the traditional ones? Also, do we provide warranty and what is the optimal price? We need to pay so much attention on that. The next perspective would be finance. This one is straightforward. We need to look at our financial situation from different data. Last but not least, R&D. So many concerns like, is it up to date? Should we improve or develop a new product? We need to keep our customer curious. Finally, strategy evaluation. It is very important to review the underlying basis, the SWOT factors, and see if it's still the same as our original situation. If it's not the same, we do corrective action. If it's still the same, we measure so far performance quantitatively and see if it matches our expectation. If no, we correct. If yes, we continue. That's the whole fish dish I prepared for you. Did you enjoy it, my dear students? MADketing is way more than what I talked about since it's mad. You will never know what's next since maybe tomorrow you will come up with an idea that no one dared to even imagine. Well, marketing 4040, I was so confused how mad could it be? And after this course, I discovered how mad I can be. Pushing my boundaries and do what I never imagined that I could do. Something that I will remember till 10 years later. Maybe 10 years later, I will be watching this video and a smile will appear on my face without my notice. Feeling so lucky that I was mad enough 10 years ago.